Hey, good afternoon everybody. It's June 13th, 2021, and I'm testing out my new lavalier mic. And let's see how this video is. Hopefully it's a little better than my past videos. I just want to show you a little walk through the garden and a little surprise what I saw today. Garlic scapes. Hey, also if you like the videos, please give it a thumbs up, share it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and if you have, as Jesse says, you're awesome. So thanks a lot. First of all, let me show you this Clematis. I mean, that's beautiful. Look at those flowers. I planted this last year, and we got a few flowers, and then that was it. But this year, it really is doing great. It's I think it's a dwarf variety, so it's not really vining out. I was hoping it would vine out across the whole fence here, but it looks beautiful in the corner there. Anyway, grapevine is doing pretty decently. It's still not growing much, but I'm not sure whether I need to prune off some of these extra branches that come off of it. So do a little more research and we'll see. But it's growing nice in a container, and yeah. There's the grow bag with the corn de toro and eggplant. I forget the variety. I'll have to go around the other side to let you know what it is. Some nice flowers over here in front of the garden. I wanted to try to spruce up the front so it looks a little nicer than these stakes and T-posts and fence. But so far, it's a work in progress. But look at this. We have shiso growing all over the place from last year. I had shiso growing over here in this garden where I have the hedgerow and the oregano and the lavender, and it seemed like it just seeds flew all over the place, just like these violas growing out of the cracks. So yeah, so we have shiso coming up all over the place, which is not a bad thing because we do use it a lot. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was the garlic. I was looking at garlic this morning and kind of looked like this, and I didn't see much on it. And then my wife came out with my son and they said, "Oh, look at all the scapes." And I was like, they must have escaped me. But there's a scape over there. There's a scape over there. There's two scapes over there. Those are onions. And look at this. I mean, oh my gosh. How did I miss this? This scape is probably 2 feet long. Scape. And then we have the Alderman Peas that are growing very nicely. I think I might pull a couple off and eat them, or just leave the rest for shelling. Don't have many plants. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here. So, but here, more garlic, more scapes. Over here I pulled out some garlic. This is where I had the problem with the water the other day. It got, you know, my garden was like a river, and water was flowing through this and soaking the ground. You can kind of see that garlic down there. Doesn't look too hot. So I pulled a couple of them out. This was the Carpathian. It's a nice red garlic. And I pulled them out. I hung them up under my, my deck to dry. And I was going to pull the rest out, but I think I'll leave them in there a little longer because it's drying. The ground is drying out. So I'm hoping that they'll be okay, but I do have a lot more over in this part and in the middle of the garden, and then back there I have some more garlic. So I think I have enough. Take a chance. Here's the peppers that are starting to get bigger. This is a corn de toro, so look at the size of those leaves. It's getting very big. Here's the burdock root, or gobo as we call it, and the leaves are getting big. Hopefully it'll pop out of this box soon and get more sun. I kind of made a mistake. I should have put the soil up to here, but anyway, check this out. These are the leftover tomatoes I had. Let me show you. Kind of look like this. I had a whole bunch of, these are Tiffin Mennonites. I don't even know what these are, currant tomatoes. So I had a whole bunch of tomatoes, extra ones that looked like they were just staying alive but not growing. So I took a few of them and planted them here about, I'd say maybe a week ago. Look at these. Now I didn't label what they were, but these are nice heirloom tomatoes. These are some sweet potatoes I found growing in the backyard garden, which I don't know how they got there, or they're a weed. But look at these tomatoes. So these are outside the fence, so they may get eaten by squirrels, but we'll see. And these are the other ones that I had saved seeds from. So these tomatoes are doing great. I'm doing a little bit of a Florida weave here, and this one is getting a little out of control. I didn't prune them, so they're a little bit out of control. So let me just put that up there, weave it in. Florida weave is nice. I mean, I think I have too much growing here. I should have pruned some of these suckers off, but I figured these are unknown tomatoes. I'm not sure. I doubt they're determinates because I didn't grow any determinates last year. So they're definitely indeterminate. These are the Cherub Tomatoes that I saved seeds from. There's a zucchini back there, and I'll show you another one that I have a female flower on. That's the sweet potato. I'm not the sweet potatoes, that's the red potatoes. These are the sweet potatoes. Those are doing nicely. And these are some more potatoes. And that's a moth. And these, I don't know what kind of tomatoes these are. These ones I didn't label. And we actually have a small tomato growing there now. So it could be a cherry tomato. It might be the, what the heck was it called? I forgot. Anyway, that's what happens when you get old. The memory starts going. So let me show you, well, I wanted to show you the garlic scapes mostly, but here's the Jimmy Nardello peppers that are starting to get a little bit bigger. So I'm not sure whether I should take these peppers off and let the plant put all its energy into making a bigger plant, but I think I'll leave them. It still hasn't been that hot. It's only in the 60s here during the day. Somebody's eating that pepper. That's an Anaheim. Doesn't seem to like the other varieties, so we'll leave that for whoever's eating it, and maybe he'll just devour that one and leave my other peppers alone. So yeah, might be a mistake putting them out here, but they're in grow bags, so worst comes to worst, if I start seeing some more damage, I'll move those inside the fence. Let me show you the blueberries. This is my one big blueberry plant. Well, it's not that big, but look at those blueberries. They actually have some blueberries growing, and I'm hoping that they'll ripen and we'll get to eat some blueberries. Not many, maybe 20 blueberries, but I'll take it since I never grew blueberries or strawberries, and so far this year we've had strawberries. Carrots are doing nicely. I harvested a few already. And I think I might take some fava beans off today. Oops, excuse me. I mean, look at the size of this fava bean. It's bigger than my hand. It's got to be like 6 inches long. So these are really nice. I'm going to pull these off, and then hopefully it'll grow some more. Yeah. And this is the Romanesco broccoli. And so far I don't see any broccoli head forming, but the leaves look nice. I do see the cabbage moth flying around and landing on everything, but I haven't seen any of the caterpillars yet. So I think so far so good. Yep. So let me go in here and harvest a few of these scapes. Last year I let them get big, but I watch Farmer Jesse over on No Till Growers, and he says, once the scapes come out, they're starting to take energy away from the bulb. So if we want to get those bulbs bigger, you pull the scapes off when they come out. So here's another one here, and just kind of snap them off. I think some people pull them out, but I don't want to do that. I just like to snap them off. Wow, these are big. I don't know how I missed these the other day. I mean, look at the size of this scape. It's gigantic. Yeah. Look at that. And this will make a nice garlic and eggs tomorrow morning for breakfast. Yeah, see these garlic kind of fell over. It's got really wet, so I think these ones I may pull out tomorrow. Yeah, they're not even forming scapes, so I think those are ready to be pulled. Some more scapes. It's amazing. This one's got a P on it. Look at that, even these little tiny garlic have scapes on them. So definitely want to pull those off. Maybe they'll get a little bit bigger. When the scape forms, that's the garlic plant saying, I think I have to reproduce. So I'm going to pop a flower out. So the scape comes out, and at the end, this will open up and form a nice, beautiful flower with seeds. But we don't want the seeds, right? We just want that garlic bulb. So we take these scapes off, and sorry about the camera work. And we enjoy them. Look at these tiny scapes. Unbelievable. I can't believe I missed these. Thank God for my wife and my son. And my daughter, but she wasn't out here looking for scapes. Oh man, look at that. One more here. The interesting thing is that the backyard garden, the garlic hasn't formed scapes yet. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe these guys get more sun. I don't know. Oh, let's see if I get this one here. All right, I think that's about it. All right. You know, the squirrels last year ate half of my tomatoes. So I'm hoping that they're not going to be around, although I did spot a couple of them on the backyard. We got a lot of flowers on these. I haven't seen too many bees around, so what I've been doing is trying to knock the pollen off so it can, fertilize these flowers. Or pollinate them, not fertilize them. So I come over and I kind of mimic the bees landing on it. One of the guys I watch on YouTube, California Gardener, said he actually takes one of those electric toothbrushes and lays it on here and vibrates it, kind of like a bee would. So it kind of pollinates your flowers. But yeah, there's a lot of flowers on these tomatoes. So I think it's going to be a good harvest for tomatoes. And so far, that rain that we had, that heavy rain, doesn't seem to be bothering it, but I think I'm going to have to wait another week to see if there's any effect. I have the basil down here growing interplanted with the tomatoes, and that's doing nice. That's the first time I've grown basil with success. And there's some of the eggplants with flowers on them. So yeah, so far, some things are doing great and some things are not doing so good. Let me show you this. This is a puntarelle chicory that's doing really nice. Look at the size of this one. Beautiful. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, kale. Some more beets over there. They're really just, it's really interesting. I grew beets last year and they did the same thing. They stayed the same size all year until the fall, and then they started growing. So let me take you to the backyard garden. So this is the Costata Romanesco, and we have a nice female flower. Didn't have any males, but I went over to my neighbor's house and he had a male flower on one of his zucchini. So I kind of assisted in fertilization over here, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know what variety that male flower was, so it's going to be a mixed zucchini, which is okay. I like diversity. Okra's doing really nice. This is the heavy hitter. It's the long rod Perkins, the red burgundy, the Okinawa pink, and these are the Clemson spineless that I just planted a couple of weeks ago. Direct sowed them. Some more tomatoes back there, extras that I had. The Waltham 29 broccoli. We actually have some broccoli. Look at that. So I'm hoping that this weather stays cool enough that we'll actually produce some nice broccoli. It's the first time I've ever had broccoli form without losing all the leaves. Now there is something eating the leaves. I'm not sure if it's slugs or not. I haven't seen any of the cabbage moth caterpillars on here, so I think it's slugs. So I'll have to come out in the morning and see what we could pick off. The beets are starting to come back, so I think we may get some beets soon. There's more garlic here. I pulled one out earlier today and gave it to my neighbor. It was a huge bulb. Check this out. Look at the size of that garlic. Last year I grew garlic and it was not even half the size of this. So this is a nice spot here. Look at those worm castings in there. It's beautiful. You know, that's about it for today. Hopefully we get some more warm weather and these peppers and the eggplants and the tomatoes will start growing bigger. Tomatoes are doing nicely, and I'm hoping that we don't get the squirrels like we got last year. That is a lot of scapes. I'll give you a count. I'll put a count down in the description. But I think I planted almost 100 garlics this year. And, you know, maybe about 10 to 20 of them didn't produce scapes yet. So I'd say there's probably 60. Let me go count them.